that's what I hope to carry along and spread with everyone, is that hard work, and that, that reputation of hard work will get you places.
Hey guys, welcome back to Choreo Culture. If you can't tell, I just got out of a very challenging class taught by Jason BERUBE. How was class, Jason?
It was awesome. Students had a great time. It was a little difficult, but it was, at the end of the day, it was an awesome class.
Agreed, it was a great push for our students. Now let's get to those questions. How long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing for 14 years. I started when I was 6 years old at Spotlight Dance Studio in Taunton, Massachusetts.
What do you hope to share with the dance community through your teachings?
Main thing for me is it's more than dance. Obviously, teaching cool moves and teaching foundation and the history of the craft is always, what I get paid to do. But all in all, it's becoming a better dancer and person through my classes. Whether that is taking lessons of never giving up, whether that is putting 100% into every aspect of life, from my class to making breakfast in the morning, or whether it's understanding every possible thing, even if you don't agree. And that goes with dance. Some people like certain styles of dance more than others, and they kind of trash on the stuff that they don't like. So when I hear that, I kind of encourage people to understand where that comes from, the history, the culture, kind of like what I'm teaching you, where you're understanding the culture of and everything. And, if you don't like that, that's okay. But respect what they do, because they're putting as much effort into what they're doing as we are. So, the respect of dance and the love of dance on both sides is pretty key for me in my classes.
Since you're from such a small town in Massachusetts, how hard do you find it to get your name out in the dance world?
It's a bit tricky. Just like, any job, like a small business or something in a small town. They're not going to be like a monopoly of a company. So it kind of translates with us. We're in a small town, in a small area, a small dance community. So, there's not a lot of exposure for us. But, that comes along with connecting with every person that you can, because that could, that person could have an uncle that has a cousin that has a sister that has a little daughter that wants to dance. And that could be, go right around the line to me. And Jason has a class, he'd love to take it. So connecting with as much people and as many people as I can, whether in the grocery store or at the gas station, whatever it may be, helps me get my name out there. And that kind of eliminates the social media part of it, where everyone defaults to go to, where, from the old days, like word of mouth, that's literally how everything starts. You don't have to go through social media. So for me, it's finding as many people as I can to talk to and make a connection with, even if it doesn't have to be with dance, because that can come back around and help me in the long run.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is your take on the effects of social media on the dance world?
So it's a good and a bad thing. So like I said, word of mouth is nice. Social media is good to an extent. Like, we have better connection and better communication with anyone we've ever had in the history of humankind with social media. But that also plays a part in the negative effects of it, with, racism and bullying and all that kind of negative stuff that goes along with that power and technology. In the right hands, social media can be a very powerful virtue with the spreading of dance and the love of it. So in certain ways it's very good, in other ways it's very bad. But for me, I love social media in the fact that I'm able to take my art and take my work and spread it with as many people as possible, because word of mouth can't be spread with dance.
Yeah.
Only speaking. If I was a singer, I'd be great at it, but I'm not. So I use my body to spread things. So, to have dance and to have social media, those two things have a good pair with spreading my talent and my love for dance and the work that I create. Yep.
Nice.
That's social media.
Yep, pretty much. What are your future goals in dance?
Well, one is I always want to be a teacher. Whatever I learn, I always love to pass down to younger generations. in the next couple years, I'd like to hopefully move to New York, LA, the famous dance destinations.
Oh,
and
yes.
hopefully, you're right. And hopefully, get in the agency kind of stuff, be a background dancer, do music videos, do promo videos, all that stuff, a dancer's dream. Once that's all done, I'd love to do exactly what Artistic Dance Studio is doing and start my own studio, and be able to, start where and give kids the opportunities that I was given at 6 years old, 14 years ago. Be able to open my own dance studio and give everything that I've learned and give it to the younger ones. And hopefully throughout the connections I make throughout my career, hire those people, bring them in, and to share with my community of little ones that I have that I'm able to bring up to get to my position and hopefully take my place when I'm older and kick the bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're a very hard worker, so I could definitely see you doing that.
I appreciate that, and that's what I hope to carry along and spread with everyone, is that hard work and that that reputation of hard work will get you places. So Thank you, I appreciate that.
No problem. So what's your biggest advice you could give to like a new dancer or an upcoming dancer?
Best advice to a new dancer, upcoming dancer. First, never give up. That's as cliche as it sounds, it's real as it sounds. Never ever give up, and put 100% into what you want to do as possible, like 100%, because that trickles down into every other aspect of life. If you're able to take your dream and put 100% into it, that is going to translate into your schoolwork. That's going to translate into the relationships you make. That's going to translate into the job you want or the job you have. Yeah, all those stuff. If you're able to employ that into dance, it's going to trickle down through every part of your life. So never giving up and putting 100% into everything you can is the two biggest things that you can take. Everything else will fill its spots, but those are two things you have to carry with you throughout life. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Going back to the topic of social media, how do you feel about the copyright issue on music that we deal with when we try to post videos of us dancing and all that fun stuff?
Man, it's art. Let it be. It is art, man. There's no point in putting copyrights on that stuff. It's like Picasso makes a painting. People make the painting again, but everyone knows what it's from. Like, you don't need to put copyright on that. Young Thug releases a song. Everyone is going to know that's Young Thug. No one's going to think I made that song, because I don't sound like that and I don't look like Young Thug and I can't make music like that. I'm just trying to share his art. Same thing with me. No one's going to put copyright on my dancing. That's not a thing. You can't put copywriting on a choreography. Everyone does Beyonce's Single Ladies, and she doesn't copyright anyone. You know what I mean? Like, dance is a different thing than music, but in the same way, like, it's both art. It is both art. They should both be expressed and they should both be shared. If you put copyright on top of that, it limits that. Not everyone can enjoy that music. Not everyone can express what they feel through that music, and that artist ultimately loses out on that copyright. In a sense of spreading. Obviously, they don't lose money, because that's what gets them the money, is that copyright. But like, for the people and for the artists that want to express how they feel and share through that music, it limits us, which is kind of sad, because that's like, we need music. Like, they also need music and they need people to listen to them, and that copyright puts a hold on it. So, if I was an artist, I wouldn't put any copyright on my stuff, but I don't have that luxury. So just gotta find music, and in my opinion, I find kind of like the lower songs, like the low-key underrated stuff, so that it doesn't get copyrighted, which is sad in a way that I can't use the stuff I would go to first. But it's also a good thing for those younger artists and those underrated artists to get that exposure through dancers, so that they can get bigger as well. So there's a lot more bad things than positive things, but always put things in a positive light, and I should have used that earlier. I should have used that in an earlier question. Always try to put things in a positive light, but I'll put that as a plug right now. Always put positive thing, put everything in a positive light. So little plug there, but yeah, that's my stance on copyright.
So since we're coming to the end of our show, insert sad face here.
There you go.
We'd like to ask you, what's going on in your life right now? Anything you'd like to inform us on? Yeah,
so right now I'm in the hustle of a dance teacher. I teach at 4 studios throughout the year. Yep, 2 in Mass, 2 in Rhode Island, with grade schools, and then the 3 live dance complex that I have in Johnston. So I have that going, and then I also dance with Livelihood in Johnston, Rhode Island, out of 3 Live as well. We have WAD Boston coming up, which is cool. That'll be sick. November 9th, if I'm correct.
We shall see you guys
there.
there.
Also working on a little video for an upcoming artist called A-Rose out of Providence, doing a little video for his stuff, which is cool. And then just traveling to places like Artistic Dance Studio, doing choreo, trying to connect with as many people as possible, and spreading my love. That's all I do, and that's all I want to do for as long as I possibly can. So that's my life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason, for coming today. It was a pleasure being with you.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. This is sick. This is a really cool thing you guys are doing, and I'm really happy that you guys invited me to do it. This is awesome.
Thank you for coming. It was always a vibe.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Tune in next time for another session of Choreo Culture.